Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. And mother, 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 there's far too many of you crying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, Marvin Gaye. So we have a situation upon our hands, don't we? When we can practice beyond the scenes, thinking that we know so much. When you set that chessboard up, you have the pawns in front. Those pawns, can be used in a good way or in a destructive way if you're not paying close attention. It's almost like deceiving yourself or someone else orchestrating a plan when you don't move your man the right way. So you have different people, who will manipulate and focus or even refocus in different directions. A woman goes to the hospital and she has an ID with her sister's name on it. Once they do the DNA test, they realize this is not the person's name, or this is not the person matching this name. This is the sister. But someone said that the woman's funeral had happened. If this is not her and this is the sister, who is she? Is she actually on a channel? Is she on TikTok? Is she on YouTube? Where is she? You see her each day, posting Monday through Friday, sometimes even Saturday. All right, what about the father? The father actually made sure that everyone became vegetarian, vegan under that roof of that house. And when he did this was to make sure that when she was stalked and perhaps kidnapped, they would be able to take her for her different insides, okay? Perhaps kidney, perhaps heart. When your body is clean and you have a natural heart, people will focus on those individuals because the price will be higher in regards to making that purchase. So is this a real father who did this? Or what? Because what father figure do you know would set his own child up for organ trafficking? Both father and younger daughter made plans. The plan was to talk the daughter into moving back into the house in New Jersey so that they could take this individual and put insurance on her. Had all these different family members and even friends and even business partners take insurance out on her, and she was supposed to stay at this house, the very house that she was not welcomed at from the beginning. A lot of plans, a lot of people making plans. When God is watching over different individuals, the plans will never land. We look at the crimes that are committed. We look at the dots that are connecting. An aunt who went and made plans, she and a male ex-partner, ex-friend, so to speak, went to Florida to make sure that they could manipulate a community to work against the woman. How many people does it take to manipulate, to orchestrate a plan to unalive or hurt an innocent individual? How many lands or how much property overseas? How much can you possibly do to one individual? The plans, some of the plans, one of the plans was to have this person homeless without any support so that the person would go loco en la cabeza, aka crazy. They wanted this to happen so that the person could not speak on their own behalf. When you look at a bank account where a friend of Pearl worked at this bank and worked on that account so that no one would know, or that the person would not know, how much money is actually coming out of this account and how much manipulations going on on this account. People trying to unalive, paying people to unalive this person. When you look at the family dynamics of anyone, and you see so many people going after one person, and then a lawyer whose hands are dirty in the situation as well, because the lawyer was hired to clean money. What do you mean clean money? The lawyer is paid under the table. A dentist, 2 practitioners at a dental office, paid to speak or talk the person into getting some dental work done and making sure that those dental records are given to the family members to make sure they have proof when this person is no longer here. How many licks does it take for the Tootsie Pop to get to the center, to the Tootsie Roll? When we look at the connection of how people can orchestrate a plan against an innocent soul, paying people, paying an individual, they called him a bumblebee. They called him a security guard that worked on a platform in West Palm Beach. Paid him to act as though he had an interest in the woman. Take her out on dates so that he could have his car with the videos of anything said, anything to happen, so that they could use it in court against the individual. How many experiences can be had outside of a courtroom about an individual having her gang stalked, using her phone to manipulate, her phone pictures, her photos, her notes, her phone calls, manipulating her TikTok account, manipulating her YouTube account, all to find out more information. The Ferguson can make all sorts of choices because he has friends who work at the cell phone company who are able to know and to help, and people, friend or mate who works at YouTube to be able to manipulate the phone, be able to use a phantom phone to be able to see as she sees while she's looking on her cell phone. So many things can happen behind the scenes. Spell work being used where the person's sleep can be interrupted, to where so many things can happen. A loved one, a love partner, a love interest of the Ferguson actually having a problem when that person promises to tell the truth, and the truth cannot be told because this person, no one can find them, or maybe the person's no longer here. When you look at all of the different dots that connect all of these different individuals, how is it that the rightful person has not been called into a courtroom full of people, full of questions, but not all of the answers? When we connect the dots to the individuals involved, you look at the head, the people who stood behind the scenes, who made so many plans. Sister, aunt, father figure, ex, all the individuals involved, starting in the early 2000s till now. How is it that so much can go on and no one give the necessary information to the rightful people to make sure that all of this information comes to an end and people are found innocent, those who are innocent, and those who are not innocent, the guilty parties, come to the surface and the truth be told. Indigo Moon, have a wonderful one.